Shelby, you need some juice. You need some juice.
Stop it, Mama.
Drink the juice. Please drink the juice.
No! Stop it, Mama. I can't get my purse.
No, you didn't bring your purse, sweetheart. You didn't bring your purse. No, you didn't. No, here you go. Here you go. Drink some of this. It's not any wonder with all this running around and wet nonsense.
Excuse me, should I call the doctor or something?
No.
She's a diabetic.
She just has a little too much insulin, that's all. We just get a little more in her, she'll be all right.
If you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna leave.
Oh, I'd love to see you try. Cooperate, please. Honey, drink, please. Come on now. There the girl. Please. Yes. There you go. There. That's a start.
This one hit her fast.
She's been so upset lately. Dr. Mitchell told her on her last appointment. Children aren't possible.
Don't talk about me like I'm not here.
Oh, she's making some sense.
Okay, so y'all just heard what she said. She's upset because the doctor told her that she can't have children. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to give y'all an overview of what this movie is about. This is a movie called Still Magnolias, which came out in 1989. I had to watch this when I was in high school, and at the time that I watched it, I actually felt sorry for her. This is actually based on a true story. The movie has been remade with starring Queen Latifah and Felicia Rashad. This is a terrible movie, but it basically typifies the mentality of breeders. So let's give an overview of this. This is a spoiler alert, right? Okay, so here's the spoiler. Here's the overview. Shelby becomes pregnant despite warnings not to. After giving birth to a baby boy named Jackson, Shelby develops kidney failure and requires dialysis. Around Jackson's first birthday, Shelby receives a successful kidney transplant from her mother. Shelby recovers, but 4 months later, Jackson finds her unconscious at home. Doctors determine Shelby's condition is irreversible and her family decides to remove her from life support. Shelby dies in the hospital with Lynn at her side. Shelby's character is based in part on Susan Harlan Robertson, who died from complications of diabetes after a kidney transplant failed in 1985. Okay, so now let's go to the second clip.
I've got to pick something up for her tomorrow. Would you put that down on the list? I have no idea what to get your father. What's Jackson giving you, do you know?
Furniture.
Furniture? Well, my. Must be nice to be married to a rich lawyer. What's it, for the living room?
No, for the nursery. We wanted to tell you when you and Daddy were together, but you're never together, so it's every man for himself.
It is every man for himself, including that baby. That baby is going to have to fend for himself.
I'm pregnant.
I realize that.
Well, is that it? Is that all you're gonna say?
What do you want me to say?
Well, something along the lines of congratulations.
I don't know why breeders think that having babies is an accomplishment. Procreation is the most basic of bodily functions. A cat can do it, a dog can do it. Having a baby is not an accomplishment.
Congratulations.
Would it be too much to ask for a little excitement?
Now, when I have members of my family who have children, they tell me, and I don't know what to say. I mean, what I'm thinking is, I can't believe you just bred a baby into hell. But of course, you can't say that. But they want you to say congratulations. I can't congratulate you. You just basically had a child to make yourself happy at the child's expense. So, I'm trying to think of what I said the last time a family member had a child. I think I said best wishes, but it wasn't for my cousin. I was saying best wishes for the child. Anytime someone tells you that they want to have children, your response should be drink your juice, Shelly. Drink your juice, Shelly should be a euphemism for not having children.
Not too much. I wouldn't want you to break a sweat or anything. It's in July. Oh, Mama. You have to help me plan. We're gonna get a new house. Jackson and I are going house hunting next week. Jackson loves to hunt for anything.
What does Jackson say about all this?
He is so excited. He says he doesn't care whether it's a boy or a girl, but I know he really wants a son so bad he could taste it. He's really cute about the whole thing. It's all he can talk about. Jackson Latry Jr.
Does he ever listen? I mean, when doctors and specialists give you advice, does he listen? I know you never do, does he?
But they never listen. You can't tell a breeder not to have children. No matter what you say, they're going to do it. They're determined to do it. Even the ones who think that they're woke and they talk about all these conspiracy theories about how the government is going to throw us in FEMA camps, those people are still going to have children anyway. So there's really nothing you can say to a breeder. Like they're very hard-headed. They think there's something noble about having children. They think that they're doing their child a favor. But then when their children grow up and they watch their children suffer, and there's nothing they can do about it, right? They'll say, "Oh, I'll do anything to protect my child," but you literally just threw your child into the lion's den, and your child is going to have to fend for himself or herself. There's nothing noble about it.
Huh? What? Oh. I guess since he doesn't have to carry the baby, it really isn't any of his concern.
Mama. I want a child.
What about adoption? You filled out all the applications.
Mama, no judge is going to give a baby to someone with my medical record. Jackson even put out feelers about buying one.
People do it all the time.
Right, people do it all the time. So she doesn't want an adopted child. She wants her own mini-me. She wants a replica of herself, right? I told y'all that there are two main reasons why people have children. The first reason they want a replica of themselves, they want a mini-me, and so it's their nature and the nurture component. They want to pass on their DNA, but they also want to nurture the traits which they deem to be desirable. So they get pleasure out of imposing life, death, and an infinite potential for suffering onto their children because they basically self-actualize at the expense of their children. Having children gives their life purpose. Of course, in order for this procreational Ponzi scheme to work, you have to continue doing it. So each generation has to breed a child into hell in order for their life to have any meaning. And it's so selfish, and they don't even realize what they're doing. They're no smarter than cats and dogs. They're just basically giving into the will. No resistance, no deliberation, no forethought about the fact that their child is going to have to suffer and die. They don't care. They think they're only creating a baby, but they're actually creating a complete human being.
Listen to me. I want a child of my own.
And I also told y'all that breeders see their children as property, right? It's a child of my own. Yeah, there's a problem with that. The child is not yours.
I think it would help things a lot. I see. Mama, you worry too much. In fact, I never worry because I always know you're worried enough for both of us.
I don't think the mother worries too much. I think she didn't worry enough because she was as worried as she should have been. The mother never would have had children either.
Jackson and I have given this a lot of thought.
Has he really? Well, there's a first time for everything.
Don't start on Jackson, Mama.
Your poor body has been through so much. Why would you deliberately do this to yourself?
Diabetics have healthy babies all the time.
You are special, Shelby. There are limits to what you can do.
I am going to be very, very careful. Nobody's going to be hurt or disappointed or even inconvenienced.
No, the main person who's going to be hurt and inconvenienced is going to be the child. But aside from the child, I told y'all she dies at the end of the movie. So the mother is going to have to help raise the child. The child is going to die or is going to have to live motherless. And the husband is going to have to raise the child. Maybe get remarried and then take on a stepmom or something. And this is so selfish. At the end of the day, anytime that they procreate, they're playing Russian roulette. They take all the risk, and you're the one who has to suffer the consequences.
Least of all Jackson, I'm sure.
You're jealous because you no longer have a say-so in what I do, and that drives you up the wall. You're ready to spit nails because you can't call the shots.
I did not raise my daughter to talk to me like this.
Children are not automatons. They don't just do what you tell them to do. They don't, just because you raise your child a certain way does not mean that that's the way that they have to be for the rest of their lives. They have thoughts of their own. Despite the fact that you raise your child to be a certain way, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be that way for the rest of their life. People will evolve. People educate themselves. People have different experiences. So, yeah, I do think she's trying to control her daughter. But in this instance, the mother is actually right. I don't think she has any credibility to say it, though, because she decided to impose life, death, and an infinite potential for suffering on her own daughter. But somebody needs to tell her that.
Yes, you did.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Whenever any of us asked you what you wanted for us when we grew up, what did you say?
Shelby, I'm not in the mood to play games.
Just tell me what you said, Mama. What did you say?
The only thing I have ever said to you ever is that I want you to be happy.
Okay. The one thing that would make me happy is to have a baby. If I could adopt one, I would, but I can't. I'm going to have a baby, and I wish you'd be happy too.
I'll tell you what I wish. Oh, I don't know what I wish.
Mama, I don't know why you have to make everything so difficult.
But at the end of the day, she's the one who's making it difficult. If that's what she wanted to do, and she was actually confident in her decision, she would just let it be. But no, she needs validation. She needs her mother's approval because she knows that what she's doing is wrong.
Having this baby is the opportunity of a lifetime. Sure, there may be...
It's actually an opportunity of death, right? She's going to die. The baby's going to die. It's an opportunity of death and suffering.
Risk involved, that's true for anybody. But you get through it and life goes on.
There's risk for anybody, right? Yeah, there's a risk for everybody. That's not an argument. There's risk for everybody. So why are you taking a risk? It's a choice. You don't have to have a child, right? Yeah, you don't have to have a child. So why are you taking the risk and your child is going to be the one to suffer the consequences? This is clearly well, I'm assuming she doesn't have any money, but this child, to the extent that she had any assets and she was disinherited like my father tried to disinherit me, this is a case for wrongful life. This is a prima facie case for wrongful life, and I'm going to be eventually talking to you about wrongful life and explain what that actually entails.
And when it's all said and done, there'll be a little piece of immortality with Jackson's good look.
Immortality. They fear their own annihilation. They think they're going to gain immortality through their progeny, and they never do. Your child is not you. Your child is a separate, autonomous human being.
Looks and my sense of style, I hope. Please, please. I need your support.
She's literally begging for her mother's validation because she knows that what she's doing is unethical.
I would rather have 30 minutes of wonderful than a lifetime of nothing special.
Okay, so parents self-actualize at their children's expense, right? 3 minutes of happiness over a lifetime of nothing. I mean, this pretty much sums it all up. This is the reason why they have children. And so if you do unjustly enrich yourself of a family, right? You bred a child into hell, you force that child to be a member of your family, then you have a responsibility to give whatever property you have to your child. You don't get to disinherit your child when you chose to do that. This was your choice, and you have a moral and ethical obligation to provide for your children, even if they are adults, right? Because you didn't just create a cute little baby, you created a full human being who's going to have to navigate through this world. So your child is entitled to your property, and that's based on natural law. Okay, so now let's move to the last clip, which I'm going to make this one really short.
Honey, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
So this is the funeral scene, right? We all knew that she was going to die. I don't know why she was in denial, but clearly that was some kind of narcissism, that she was stubborn. She was going to get whatever she wanted at the expense of her child. And now it was completely foreseeable that she was going to die. So here we are. We're at the funeral.
I can jog all the way to Texas and back, but my daughter can't. She never could. Oh, God, I'm so mad I don't know what to do.
She's so mad she doesn't know what to do. I don't know who you'd be mad at other than yourself, and maybe the person who conspired with you to breed this baby into hell. You were not guaranteed to have a healthy child, right? That's the risk that you took. You played Russian roulette. So the fact that your child was unhealthy is your fault. 100% your fault. Your co-conspirator is jointly and several liable. You're both of you are completely at fault, and you have no one to blame but yourself.
I want to know why. I want to know why Shelby's life is over.
I can answer that question. The reason why is because you impose life onto your child without your child's consent, and by imposing life on your child, that life came with a death sentence. So this is your fault. That's the reason why. This is not complicated.
I want to know how that baby will ever know how wonderful his mother was. Will he ever know what she went through for him?
The question is not whether the baby will know what his mother went through. The real question is whether the mother will know what the baby went through. It's not the child's responsibility to be burdened with the mother's or the parents' suffering. No, the parents are the one who impose suffering onto their children. They're the ones who should be concerned about the child's welfare.
Oh, God, I want to know why. Why?
I want to know why. So now she's the victim. She's a victim because her child died before her. The natural order is for the parent to die first, but if the child does die before the parent, then they actually have to think about it, right? Because before, the plan was for the parent to go first, and it was out of sight, out of mind. They didn't care about the fact that they were imposing a death sentence on their child, right? And now they feel that there's something unfair about it. Well, in Christianity, it's called the pride of life, which is a sin. And according to anti-natalism, it's the will to life. You're clinging to life. You're clinging to a life that doesn't belong to you in the first place. It's not yours, and you're not entitled to someone else's life. You don't, even if they are alive, you're not even entitled to have that person in your life, right? So I told you I was estranged from my father. He was not entitled to that. If you're abusive, if you don't nurture that relationship, then you're not entitled to it. It is what it is.
Lord, I wish I could understand. No. It's not supposed to happen this way. I'm supposed to go first. I've always been ready to go first.
Right. So they want the parent to go first, right? So the child is going to be burdened with burying their parent. How is that fair? Right? How is it fair that your child should have to grieve over your death, right? I didn't want to watch my dad die and waste away like that. And now I'm stuck with that for the rest of my life. I mean, I didn't assume that responsibility. I did not want to take on that responsibility, but I did it anyway. I forgave him and made sure that he died, not thinking that I hated him, right? But in reality, I wanted to go first. I wanted him to take on that response. That would have been a fair result. That he imposed life on me. He should have had to take on the burden of watching me die.
I don't think I can take this. I don't think I can take this. I just want to hit somebody till they feel as bad as I do. I just want to hit something. I want to hit it hard. Here. Hit this.
Okay, so I'm going to end this. Like, I think this is the worst breeder movie ever. And for those of you who are anti-natalist, I would encourage you to watch this version. The remake really wasn't that good. Yeah, I don't, maybe because I already saw the original, I was biased to watch it. But when I watched Queen Latifah's performance, it just wasn't compelling. Like, this one seems more like that. Even the bar, like, they were in a beauty salon. It just seems so fake. They didn't have the scene here at the funeral. They had it in the beauty shop. And yeah, that version was terrible. I mean, this version is terrible also, but I think you can get the point by watching this, that procreation is always selfish. There is no non-selfish reason for breeding a child into hell. It's always because you want to unjustly enrich your life of happiness at your child's expense. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video.